Welcome back, everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you the similarities between chess and the art of project management. And we're starting right now.
This is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all.
Now, I remember growing up learning to play chess from my dad. He showed me the basic moves, explained how important board control was to winning a game. Well, fast forward 42 years. Like many of you out there, I recently got interested in chess after watching the Queens Gambit on Netflix. No, it wasn't the Bobby Fischer movie, unfortunately. I apologize for the Bobby Fischer fans out there. But since watching that movie, I registered to chess.com and voila, my childhood game is back. We can talk about so many things that's similar between chess and the art of project management. But for the sake of time, for this video, we are going to talk about my top 6 strategies that I feel are similar between chess and the art of project management. But before we start, I encourage everybody to please comment below, provide me your own experiences. Number 1, let's look at how the 3 stages in chess relates to project management. Let's look at the opening. The goal is to make a strong opening move on the chessboard so that you have an advantage in the onset of the game. Similarly, in project management, you should always devote adequate time and mind space to conduct your pre-project planning. Learn about your customer's organization, your detailed scope, timelines, risks, and any other external factors that may impact your project. In addition, and one of my favorite things in my job is learning about my internal and external customers, your stakeholders. These steps will help you set up what I call a project chessboard. Does this sound familiar? Well, the opening is just like your initiation and planning in project management. Pretty neat, right? So in the middle game, we all know the main events of the game take place in the middle game. Both the opponents have their pieces clashing with each other the most in this stage. It is a crucial stage where decisions can change the game. This is where chess players monitor each other and try predicting each other's moves and take calculated risks. Similarly, in project management, this is where all design, development, build, testing, etc. happens. This is also where you manage risks and issues where key decisions are made that can alter your project. Now let's talk about the end game, the last stage in chess. This is the point of the game where you only have very little chess pieces left on the board, and when strategies change from preservation to aggression in pursuit of what? A checkmate. This final stage is equally important in project management as well. It's the time for making some final decisions to be go live ready. As a project manager, you will sometimes have to make key decisions to ensure your customer's product is developed, people are trained, and other key pieces in place for the go live date. Did this sound familiar to you? Now that we've covered the stages, let's talk about common strategies in chess and project management. Let's start with risk management. Risk management is a must-have skill whether you're a chess player or a project manager. We all know how a simple move can change a game and a project. In chess, you took a risky move by executing one of the Gambit moves, but your opponent didn't react the way you wanted him to. In a project, you took a risky move, outsourcing your training, which resulted to a customer not being ready for go live. What do you think would have helped this chess player and project manager when making these types of risky decisions? A strong risk management background is key to being able to identify, assess, and action risk in a project. Some people are born with spidey senses when it comes down to risk management. However, the one common denominator I have seen project managers possess that's consistently allowed them to manage risk is flat out experience. Having the experience in your field, industry, vertical markets, and craft, in this case chess and project management, can help you make good decisions. Now let's talk about patience. If you want to be a good chess player, patience is key. Let's think about a common situation in chess. You're getting closer to checkmating your opponent and you have more pieces on the board, but the game suddenly changed to a draw. How can that happen? What do you think? In most cases, it's because you didn't have enough patience to think clearly about your moves. If you want to be a successful project manager, you also need to have patience. Patience comes with experience. So if you're a new project manager, be patient. Be patient with your customers, be patient with your stakeholders, resources, and let your project team develop as a unit as they go through the project lifecycle. How about space strategy? We all know how much space matters while playing chess. The player controlling most of the space in the initial stage often controls the game. It is much easier to maneuver your pieces when you have the space to move, when you don't have pawns in your way. There are other laws of space in chess, like controlling the center of the board before attacking the sides. Similarly, as a project manager, I strongly believe in the servant leader philosophy. Clear obstacles and impediments so that your project team will have the space to be productive and be efficient. It also would not hurt if you build space into your project schedule by adding leads and lags to your project plan. These are just some examples of what you can do as project managers to help make space for your team. Now, don't forget to share your own ideas by commenting below. Gathering information about your opponent. Research. This is what we all do today before stepping foot into anything. It doesn't matter if it's chess or project management. You should have complete knowledge about your opponents. In chess, it helps you understand the opponent's strengths and weaknesses, their preferred openings, and tactical plays. It assists in developing a game plan in our minds that you can execute into your game. However, in project management, knowledge helps build a foundation for understanding the type of work, customer, and environment that we're about to work with. Whether it's a large-scale enterprise initiative or a small feature development, spending time to understand the work type, lessons learned from the past, detailing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and coming up with a project plan that can overcome all known and unknown challenges are essential. A strong project manager utilizes all types of resources to strengthen their position. Do you spend enough time gathering information about your clients? The last strategy we're going to be talking about today is the Gambit moves. If you're a chess player, you must know what a Gambit move is. An example of a Gambit move is when a white sacrifices a pawn to get counterplay and try to create an advantage or opportunity early in the opening stage of the game. Gambit moves are something we do in our projects. The same idea applies, which is to make a small sacrifice or a gambit for shared objectives that can benefit everyone. For instance, I have seen project teams de-scope features, functionalities to avoid delaying a go-live date. Have you seen that happen? Have you done that before? Well, that's a gambit. I know we unpacked a lot of information today. Thank you for sticking around with me. Do you now see the relationship between chess and the art of project management? We talked about stages, risk management, having patience, space strategy, gathering information about your opponents, and lastly, Gambit moves. These are just 6 examples of strategies we use in both chess and project management.